a demonstration for you all today. All the people here that showed up, as well as all the Facebook Live people, thank you very much for attending our workshop today. I'd like to start off with our first SKU, which is a carpet tab tape. It's perforated for ease of installation. It has silicones and acrylics on it. It's a heavy duty premium product. It's used on every carpet tile as a floating application, as I mentioned. So let's get right to that. Takes a carpet tile. This product is license agreement with Venture and Bell Tile here in Canada right now, and it's doing very well across the country. We're very proud about that, especially manufacturing here in Canada as well. So typically, if you're going to float any carpet tile, you do your layout first. You'll measure your room. You'll find out where your center is and have your cuts on the perimeter, for example. The product comes with a releasable liner and a cross hatch for visual placement, as well as chemical resistance sheet. You just simply remove the liner. That's a throwaway. The adhesives are very strong. That's called a max tab. You simply fold back your carpet tile in the middle, like so. Find your centers. Place one tab right on the X, like so. Get your next one in there, and your next one. Okay. There, so. Like so. You just follow the procedure all the way through. Every corner of the carpet tile is going to have a tab on it, and you finish your installation. As you get to the end of the wall, the actual tab can be ripped in half, so that you can put a half a tab around the perimeter of the wall, so you don't have to cut it and whatnot. The product will hold very, very well. You can pick it all up, one tab, that type of thing. Once it's all together, it will stay together very strong. Maybe not the best demonstration with one tab, but if you put them all together, it's probably better. I'd like somebody to come up and try it with me here. Maybe John will come up from FloatMax. He can give it a shot and show the people out there how it's done. Come on up, Johnny, and put some carpet tile together. Just make a modular pattern here like this. So I'm going to give John a few tabs. You can give him 2, 3, 4 tabs. You can do an installation here. Here you go, John. We're going to put some carpet tile together, okay? I'd recommend putting them on each corner. Anyway, to show the people out there how easy it is to really use this. You just simply remove the liner. You have your visual placement. There we go. Put it into place. The next one. We do want to show the people at home actually how strong it really is. So one tab did pick up 4, but you do want to have more tabs under there. Like that. And then you would continue the procedure all the way through. I'll give Johnny a hand. I can put it under that. You see, it's quite fast to do the install. Yeah, perfect example. If you do make a mistake, you can release it and then reset it into the adhesive. Now the adhesive will bond with age, so the longer that it's down, the stronger that it's going to get. It is waterproof. The tears are waterproof. The silicone is chemical resistant, so if people over clean or don't dilute the chemicals when they're washing it, it will not affect the acrylics in the adhesive. Okay, so that's pretty much it. To do a carpet tile installation, it's quite easy, and it does hold together very strong. You can see it on the back. Now, this product is available through Venture Carpets and Bell Tile. They currently have the license for this product throughout North America. So you can purchase these products through distributors such as Schneer, Centura, all across Canada, and Menards as well in the U.S. Floors First, End of the Roll, they all have these products right now.
You mentioned it was an acrylic-based adhesive, or?
That's correct, yes. It's acrylic adhesive on the outsides of the tape. In the middle, the black crosshatch that you see is silicone. So what that does is it gives you two different features and benefits. One is that it's chemical resistant, and the second is that you have a visual placement. So you have an aid for placing the carpet tile properly without having it all mixed up through the backing.
And they come in rolls of how many tabs?
They come in rolls of 250 tabs per roll for distribution, and you can purchase more if you like that way, but typically 250 rolls.
And it works with all kinds of carpet tile magnets?
It does, actually. It's working with the Kraus, interface, the whole arms, etc. But it's been tested with the venture magnets, so it's phthalate-free, doesn't migrate with the plasticizers.
So it's an environmentally friendly product. You don't have to use wet adhesives at all.
That's correct. Yeah, no wet adhesives at all. As long as you have a hard surface substrate, you can float over that at any time. Yeah. Okay, so that's the tab system that we currently have. It's very economical. It's a time-saving application. The end result is you're going to get the same install as you would as a traditional glue down, but you're going to do it in 1/3 the time. And the cost savings for the end user is huge. So you're not only saving time for the client, but the installation and your labor on it as well. If you do damage a carpet tile, you can just simply remove one piece at a time, put a new tab underneath, and just do another new install that way. Okay, so that's the carpet tab system, and again, that's available through Venture Carpets and Bell Tile. Okay, it's Canadian made. Everything that we have is Canadian made, and we have manufacturing out here in Bowmanville, Ontario. Okay, so moving on, I'd like to get to my universal seaming tape. This is a patented system. It's meant for floating commercial vinyl floors over any hard surface substrate. So ceramic, concrete, high moisture slabs, OSB, the particle boards. That's very common these days because GIS, good one-side plywoods, are very expensive, especially if you're using adhesives and polymers and bonding agents with it. The end result for the cost gets quite high just to achieve a nice smooth surface, right? So as long as you have a smooth surface, you can actually just float any vinyl over top of it, okay? Now the product is also a 3.2 mil heavy-duty acrylic with a chemical resistance center down the middle as well. Now this product, once you've applied the seaming tape, you can actually heat weld it or chemical weld it the same day. So you're not waiting another day for adhesive to dry. You can actually seam it up chemically or welding it immediately. Now, the product is a tapered layer, has 2 tapered layers on it, and that's to avoid telegraphing on the vinyl. You can go as thin as a 2 mil product up to a 10 mil, even thicker. We've done sports flooring, wood-looking floors, Armstrong floors, anything commercial will work on this. Now, the liner in this particular product is actually spliced down the middle. Okay, so what that allows you to do is to overlap your vinyls so that you can scribe onto the seam if you want to. That's one particular way of installing it. The other way is just to remove both liners and butt up your seams together, okay? But you do have that option with the throwaway liner that you can scribe with it. So a typical scriber would be like that. Everybody has their own different scribers, different manufacturers have different scribers, so that's basically what you need. So we've actually done, to date, we're about 500,000 lineal feet of floating floors in the past 4 to 5 years right now. And we're doing quite well with the tape. A lot of end users are using this product now to save money, time, labor, polymers, bonding agents, adhesives, things like that. So essentially all you need is a good floor, some tape, and a little bit of knowledge. And anybody can float a floor with that. So I'd like to do a demonstration today as well as the carpet tiles with a floor. We'll float some floor today. Right now, this wood-looking floor right here, this is an Armstrong. This product is called Cushion Step from Armstrong, so we'll use this one today. You could use it on Mannington inlays. There's a lot of different products out there that you can float with, Durafloor, Mannington, Algoliums and Rouses, things like that. There's a lot of products out there. So I'll have Johnny come back up and do a demonstration. We've got the seam open here. This is all one sheet right now. So we'll have to imagine that we're going to put a seam in this floor. So we'll get our tools that we need. We'll actually groove it out and we'll actually weld it right in front of you today as well. Okay, so we're going to find the grout line on the wood floor. We're going to imagine that this is, you know, a 20 by 12, for example. You've got to put some seams together. So John is going to cut on the grout line as you traditionally would with a glue down method, and we'll use the seaming tape underneath. Now with this particular floor, this floor is meant to be chemically welded, which is a topical application, a liquid. So we're still going to do the installation as we would as a heat weld, but we're going to do a topical chemical weld. But just for demonstration purposes, we just cut it open, put the seaming tape, and just pretend we've done a chemical weld on it. Okay. Okay, so here we are, the seam is cut. Let's just say we have the two pieces. We're in a large room. They're two 12-foot goods by whatever length. You could be 60 feet. These rolls could be 60 or even longer. And we're going to take our tape. We're going to cut it to the desired length that we need. I've got a knife here. Okay. We'll cut it to whatever length we need, like so. Remove the liner. In this case, since we pre-cut the seam, we can remove both sides of the liner.
Is the adhesive releasable enough to be able to remove and replace if you make a mistake?
Yes, that's correct. When the initial tack takes place, it will take some time for the adhesive to cure up and set hard. So the longer that the adhesive is on the tape, on your backing, the longer and the stronger the bond will be. So if you do make a mistake, you can remove it. It's not a permanent bond. So we're going to do our full back piece. I'm going to fold it back. Okay. The beauty of the system is that we have a nice black visual line to find our center. Now the trick, you've got to pull the tape tight to make sure that there's no crinkles or bubbles in the tape on the one side, nice and flat. No telegraphing here because of the tapering that we have. Johnny's rolling it with a roller to ensure that it's set into place. Once we know that there are no issues with the product, we can actually set it in place. So then we take our second piece, put it back on top, like so. Set it into place with your mini roller. Okay, there you go. Now it's set into place. So this is actually a finished seam. The only thing left to really do would be to apply the chemical weld on top of it. This one we're not going to weld, Johnny. We're not going to groove it. This is chemical weld.
Is there any preparation you have to do with the vinyl before you put the seaming tape in?
Yeah, it's a good question, Mike. Typically, all of the vinyl should be back rolled. I should have mentioned that before prior to. We back roll all of the vinyls that we receive. When it comes from the manufacturer, the vinyl is faced outwards. So that comes from the manufacturer directly. You'll receive it that way. You should back roll it faced in. Allow it to climatize or acclimate to room temperature prior to installation. A good 24 hours is usually typical. As long as the room temperature is 21 degrees Celsius, around there, that'll allow the product, the vinyl, to curl upwards rather than up downwards like this. So it's acclimated to that temperature. And you should back roll your vinyls, every vinyl, no matter what the manufacturer is. Okay. So I'd like Johnny to grab it in. We'll give you a demonstration of how strong this is. We'll give you a good pull on it. Now we have our seaming tape it will be just as strong, if not stronger, than the vinyl. Okay, ready? Here we go. There's no way you can't even pull him. I can pull him over. Yeah. No, it's really strong. It didn't even move. Not even a millimeter. So we managed to stretch the vinyl in this area. It didn't affect the seam and the strength between the two. Okay. Lastly, you do want to put your chemical weld on top of that, and then your floor is complete. So when you're around the perimeters of the floor, it's like a laminate installation. You do want to allow 3/16 of a gap around the perimeter for expansion and contraction. You do get some hot days, you do get some cold days. So you want to make sure that you have enough movement for expansion and contraction. The seams themselves will not expand and contract. Now the tape itself is good from -50 to +210 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
It's got an RH value of 95%. So if you have really high moisture slabs, even water will not affect the taping system. Okay, so it's a great application for all kinds of different environments. Alrighty, we're going to move on to a heat weld application. Okay.
I have one question about
Sure.
that floating tape. Is it a patented product?
It is a patented product, correct? Yeah. We have a U.S. patent number, and it's been issued to us a week ago, actually. So it's been taking about 5 years to get to that patent number.
Has there been any deficiencies in any of the tape that you've installed so far?
No, all of our case studies, actually, every job that we've done so far have had no issues whatsoever. And we've been monitoring every job out there. So a lot of our projects date back to 5 years ago. We have tons of testimonials, a lot of repeat clients. It's great for clients who want to have a quick install with not much expenditures on it. So no deficiencies.
And it works well with sport floors?
Sport floor is amazing, yes. We've done a few badminton courts, and they've actually had a lot of physical heavy-duty players on this, like competitive courts, and they've had no issues with it at all.
So it would work with AstroTurf too, potentially?
Oh yeah, it'll work with pretty much any flooring that can bond to it. Yeah.
And how is it environmentally friendly?
Well, the adhesives are from Germany, so it's got no VOCs in it. They're virgin materials that go into it. There's no phthalates. There's no post-consumer content in the adhesives whatsoever. And silicone is already a very friendly product as it is. So the acrylics with the silicones, yeah, we have no issues with the VOCs. It's a LEED's credit. It's a friendly, clean product.
So being from Germany, it's REACH compliant and it passes California Proposition
That's
65
correct.
for drinking water safety.
That's correct, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We do follow the California standards here very tightly in Canada, so we've used those standards and applied them to our products across the board.
Good.
Okay. Any other questions thus far?
Keep going.
Keep going. Okay, so you've seen the actual floating system with a chemical weld, the liquid topical weld. We'll get into a heat weld application because that's a real big bonus here with these products, because typically you have to wait an extra day after you glue it. In this case, you could actually put the tape and weld it the same day, which is a huge savings.
Okay.
Of time and money. So, big guy out of the way here. Now, we've already done one application with it the other day, and we did pull it apart. It was another seminar that we did, but we'll do it again today. We'll just cut it down the middle of the next area. So Johnny's going to cut this up and create another seam. I'm going to heat up the Leister so we can get some welding going here. Okay, so we'll actually move this piece over. Okay. And we'll put a seam down the middle of this one. And we'll try to pull this one apart. I'll just make my cut first. This is an Armstrong Corlon fiberglass backing. We've actually installed tons of this for over OSB, painted floors, high moisture floors. We've done hospital work with this, restaurants, residences, numerous applications with that. Okay, so there's our seam. We'll take some tape again, basically same procedure. We'll cut it to our desired length. Look it upside down. One side of the liner. That's a throwaway. Side John. Okay, so we put our seats back together. We'll pull one side. Okay. Line up on the black line. We're going to pull the tape tight. Set it into place. One side. You can just use a little bit of pressure just to set it for the time being. Alrighty. Just make sure the other side is lined up like that. It's okay to leave a little bit of a gap in this case because we're going to actually groove it and heat weld it. So again, we'll use our mini roller just to set it in place. Like so. And I will get a groover and a moon knife for shaving and a skim plate. Here's our groover. Now this is typically what most welders will do. They do have power groovers out there that you could use. You could use a power groover. But for today's purpose and demonstration, we'll just use a hand groover. We're going to groove out the line. Like so. We'll be right down the middle. As soon as you go a bit deep, it's okay. It's not going to affect the seaming tape underneath. Like so. Okay. So I did go a bit deep, but again, the temperature when it hits the tape will not affect the tape. But typically you should take your time and do a nice groove. Okay. We'll take some welding rod as well. We'll use some Armstrong Corlon weld today. I'm ready, Johnny. You just measure what you need. We're going to use a different color just for demonstration purposes so you can actually see the weld. Now, those of you installers out there know the temperature has to be close to 600 degrees on this. It's been warming up for us. It's a bit loud, but I'll run through a quick weld here. Once again.
And the chemical weld makes it an impervious thing, so moisture will not get through.
The chemical weld will do the same as a commercial heat weld. There are two different types of applications for that, right? So chemical is a liquid topical sealer that melts the two layers together to create impervious seam, waterproof, chemical resistant. The heat weld is more antimicrobial, and it's commonly used in commercial and industrial applications, healthcare, hospitals, restaurants, things like that. when infectious control is involved, this is typically how they would like it welded. And the machine's at 600 degrees, and as you can see, it hasn't affected the tape or the vinyl. Underneath, the tape is actually maybe 10 degrees higher than room temperature. Definitely no issues with that. Here, John, if you could take that, please. Thank you. The last noise. Okay, so I've welded my seam. I'm going to do my first pass with my moon knife. Take the first layer off. And we're going to let the seam cool a little bit. Typically you should give it about 10 minutes for it to cool down. But for demonstration purposes, I'll shave it flush right now just to show. Okay, so we have a pretty nice clean shave. You do see some edges, you can just take it off with the rest of your moon knife like that. Okay. Yeah. We have a nice, strong, solid, welded seam. And to show you again, we'll do another pull test, Johnny and I, to show you how actually strong the seam is together.
So you're saying that's it? That's done?
That's it. It's that fast, so.
It's that fast?
It's that fast. You don't have to wait 24 hours for adhesives to dry.
How big?
Immediately.
How big of a flooring can you do with that?
We've done project 5,000, 10,000 square feet. The last one we finished was about 15,000 square feet. Took us a day and a half with the seaming tape to do that. The reducers that we had to put around the perimeter took almost 3 days, just for the reducers alone. But the actual installation, day and a half, 4 guys. It was very fast, very fast.
Okay.
So this product's a real labor saver?
I would say labor savings for sure. I mean, you're saving the end user a ton of money because they don't have a lot of hidden costs, like I mentioned previously, with adhesives and polymers and bonding agents, plywoods, things like that. As long as you have a hard surface substrate, you can float on top of anything. It really doesn't matter if the moisture is high or if it's an epoxy painted slab or OSB particle board, plywood, even ceramics, things like that.
Is it ready for immediate traffic now that you have the welded seam?
It is, it's ready to go. Like I said, you just want the seam to cool down, typically 10 minutes for the seam to cool down before you would shave it.
So by the time you clean up the site, it's ready for the
It's
traffic
ready,
of
it's
the
ready
building.
for 100% usage. Absolutely. You don't have to wait. There's no adhesives underneath here, so you could place heavy equipment on it. It's not going to leave the indentation that it normally would with adhesives on it.
So there's no curing time with wet adhesives, no VOCs like with wet adhesives, immediate traffic, there's no setup time. It seems like a no-brainer to use this type of a system.
Well, that's just it. I mean, for years, decades, we've been relying on adhesives because that's all we knew. I've been in the industry 36 years now, and I was raised that way. My father, my grandfather, that's all we did. You know, that's not what everybody does. But the manufacturers these days have made such good vinyl floors that are already floating capable. The only thing that they're missing is a good seaming tape system.
So this was developed by an installer for installers to make their life easier.
Yep. It's something that came to me saying there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be an alternative because not every project can you glue it down. You just can't. There's a lot of problem jobs out there, and you have to have some kind of solution. It's not for every job. I mean, you can glue 90% of the work out there, but a good 10% of the projects, if not more, you may want to use a system like that. Not only to save money, but for a problem-solving application. Yes, Mike.
How does the product react to jack trucks, other things being rolled over the
That's an
product?
excellent question. Excellent question. In our testing facility, we have done multiple floors with multiple seaming tapes and multiple welds. We actually drove our forklifts over it for a year straight. The flooring actually got beat up sooner than the seaming tape did. That was extreme use. That's not normal conditions. So, but for our testing purposes, we wanted to see how the tape would react to certain load rates. Typically 500 pounds is what you're going to see out there in the market for casters, chair loads, fork pump trucks, things like that. So the vinyl will take the weight. Certain ones will, mostly commercial. It's all the heavy duty stuff. I wouldn't be putting a pump truck or something heavy on a residential floor. That's typically just foot traffic, right? But yes, it's going to take a beating like you wouldn't believe. So anyways, let's give it a pull test. I mean, so excited about it. Here's the backing. Don't mind the dirt because it's quite dirty where we are today. But I got to show you that how strong this product really is. We're gonna. Johnny's pretty strong too, so yeah, here we go. Probably told you.
You're pulling
Let's
hair.
stretch the vinyl. So, like, we've actually damaged the vinyl by doing that. Just from the pulling, we creased it. We did not even pull the seam open at all.
Good.
Very strong. So, any questions, guys, about the seaming tape? Obviously, we've proven that it works. It's meant for commercial application. You can use it on residential, no problem. Chemical, heat wells, whatever your choice may be, whatever the application needs.
What's
to
the
be.
real benefit? What's the real benefit? Why should I use it? Tell me.
Well, let's get into some cost-saving comparisons. I think that's a good idea. Let's show you where the money is actually being spent. So here we have a cost comparison, some case studies that we've done. Okay, we're basing our case studies on an average 5,000 square feet, for example. Okay, so we'll just go back here. Okay, here we go. So the following case studies are based on 5,000 square feet. As I mentioned, for example, 100 feet by 50 feet. Maybe we could shut the Leister off. That would be a good idea. We have many different variables on different jobs. So not every job is the same, but we're going to go through a few different ones, okay? So case number one, lift and dispose of existing glued down vinyl. You're going to get into a facility, an environment where you have an existing vinyl. If you're going up to 2-3 layers of vinyl, manufacturer won't warranty as you build up to certain vinyls. But if you have a hard surface substrate, as long as it's hard enough to float over top of, then you're okay. So a traditional installation, if we lift and dispose of an existing glued down vinyl, typically guys will charge roughly about $1.35 a square foot. To lift that, you have machinery, adhesives are there present, you have the disposal, okay? You have to supply your manufacturer's adhesive. That's very common at about 25 cents a square foot. And you have to install the vinyl for it. So these are all just labor charges. It's got nothing to do with the vinyls. You know, your grand total roughly about $18,000. Now this is 5,000 square feet. Okay, that's very costly. It's about 3 days to do something like that because you have to lift one day, prep, do your install, and then wait another day for the actual heat weld, right? So you've got 3 days, one for the lift, one for the install, one for the welding. You know, that's $18,000. But if you use the FloatMax, for example, you have no lifting, so that's zero. You have no adhesive, that's zero. All you're doing is supplying the tape. So let's say 5,000 square feet, you need 700 lineal feet. You charge the client $2.25. It's only $1,500, $1,575 to the end user. You do the installation with heat welded seams at 205, it's 10,000. So the end result, you get a finished floor, no lifting, no disposing, no adhesives, no cementing, no polymers. So that grand total is 11,000 to the end user. Now you've done the job in 1 day. We have no lifting, no sanding, just lay out and go. So you've actually saved 2 days of labor, and you save the client $6,400. So as a boss and as an end user, you know, that 2 days can be used more preciously somewhere else, for sure. And the client's very happy about that. Okay, moving on as our battery gets low. Okay, study number 2, concrete floors and moisture. So you have a concrete floor with high moisture. Move on, Mike. Okay, 2-part Ardex. You got to seal the floor to stop the moisture from coming through. Then you have your adhesive, you have the welding, your install, right? Your 13,000, 3 days to do that, the traditional method. Installation of the FloatMax, 700 feet again. Install welded seams, 11,000. Not a huge cost saving, but you save 2 days and 1,700 bucks. Okay, that's just because of high moisture. So you've actually saved more money than what it's worth. Case 3, you have rough concrete or ceramic or GCT. So you don't want to get into preparation with all of that. So you got a skim coat. You have to create a new subfloor, nice and smooth. So you got all of your, example, planey patch, 66 cents. So you're $3,300 just to re-cement the place. Adhesive, again, 25 cents. And then install. Grand total, 15,000. Again, that's 3 days. It's all typically 3 days to do something like that. Float bank install, again, 700 feet. 205 to do it, 12 grand. So you've actually again saved 2 days and $3,400. Okay, and that's a high moisture set. Now, if we combine all of those together, you have lift, dispose, high moisture, and I've seen it over and over and over again. The end user goes nuts because they're like, "Wow, I got to lift this, I got to seal it." So you've got all of those scenarios in there. You have your lift and dispose. You have to seal the concrete floor. Then you got to skim coat it on top so you can bond to it. Then you got to provide the adhesives, and then the install. It's $23,000, almost $24,000, because of all the issues underneath. If you just float on top of what's currently there and you don't have to worry about it, you've actually only charged the customer $11,000, so you save 3 days and $12,000 to do that. So there's certainly a lot of huge features and benefits when it comes to using this product. Okay, so these are some of the scenarios that we have. Typically every job is slightly different, but that's pretty much the gist of it, really. That's going to save a lot of money and time, and the beauty of no VOCs and environmentally friendly product, you know, goes a far, far way. So. Any other questions? Are we done on this one here, Mike? I think we're done. Just Floated. Yeah, Just Floated is trademarked by FloatMax Systems. MaxTab is trademarked by Venture Tile and FloatMax Systems as well. We encourage you to, if you have any questions or comments, you want to know about the product, where to purchase it from, please visit our website, okay, www.floatmaxtape.com. We're more than welcome to answer any questions, provide you product. If you need to purchase product, it can be bought at Canada Base and Woodbridge, Ontario. If you want some carpet tabs, Venture Tile, Bell Tile, they can provide that for you as well. You can go to Schneer, Centura, Menards if you're in the U.S., Floors First, places like that. So on our website, you'll find a list of vendors where you can purchase it from. We can also be reached at 905-669-6618. Okay. Any other questions, everybody? Well, thanks guys for everybody for attending today. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. We look forward to seeing you again shortly in the future, and take care everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care.